Alrighty, folks. 15 and 16. We are getting close to the 1K celebration finale, which will be cool. We'll probably open up, not 18, but we'll open up a few at 5K subs for full reviews. And other than that, Check the Gun Road started to launch mentorships. Going to be launching some other stuff over the next few months there, but mentorships are currently open. Other than that, let's get into it, okay? So 15 and 16. And Abbas, killing me, man. You weapon artists are you're alien to me. The way you guys make things. So Abbas is a past student of mine. What's really cool is when I see a past student that I've not seen in like a year and a half, I remember where you were at and where you're at now, and it's insane. So keep it up, man. So you're saying what makes good texturing? It's such an open-ended question, right? Like the detail, the build-up, the roughness variation. What makes good texturing is like when you make materials for environments, let's say, comparing it to real world. So I don't know if there's a comparison to that to like if you can actually get like a, I think they call them like there's a chap that goes around scanning surfaces for the pure color and the pure roughness and all that sort of stuff. You're able to get like a 3D scan of some of these weapon parts and actually scan them in and isolate their maps. It can be really insane, but I don't know if you can do that with guns. But so it looks like you are going down the weapon art path, which is cool. So far, I don't really have anything to say. The camera angles are cool. You're messing with focal length, which is cool. I'm not too fussed that you're rendering on a black background, just because even though it's a general rule of thumb to not do that, you can get away with it if there's enough contrast in the assets. I'm not that fussed on it being black background. It's a minor note. Yeah, a lot of what makes good texturing is really like what you're doing here. You've got like this medium detail and then small detail and scratch detail, and it's pretty cool to see. The bolts, I'm curious if that's modeled in or not, because it looks a bit they look okay when they're on a flat surface, but when they're on this angle, if there's something's going on there, like so if that is just baked in, you might want to put some model detail in there, just because when you have baked flat detail and you're looking at it at an angle, like we'll say a medieval roof, this could be a medieval roof because it's slanted, you're going to get some really weird artifacting. It's going to look blurry. So when things are on angles like that, you want to be careful. Also, I don't really, this is where like you would deviate if this is accurate, because like I said, I don't know anything about guns, but yeah, this looks flat. It looks, I'm not sure what's going on there. Maybe it's because the bolt is so clean, or it doesn't seem to match what's going on here. It does look like it might be flat because I'm seeing like anti-aliasing from the bake here, where it's not been a super clean bake. But yeah, it might just be worth modeling that in, dude. It depends. Like you said, you did this as an art test for War Dog. If they're asking for that, fair enough. But I'll give you feedback based on if it wasn't for the art test. You know, I would try and address this. It doesn't match the surrounding texturing in quality. Also, not a huge fan of like how close it is to this shape transition. It's very close. So be careful of that. You know, have it a little bit more towards the mid, and you'd be good. Has the sticker? Your albedo for the stickers look really bright. I don't know if you're post-processing or if you're unpaired the contrast, but those stickers are really, really bright. So be careful of that, because you don't want to go too bright on it. And if there's a scratch, you'd want to see, like, has this been scratched and they put a sticker on after it, or was it scratched with the sticker on? It would have been really cool, like, for you to have the scratch going through the sticker so it embeds the sticker into the asset. It's not just slapped on, which it kind of looks like now, okay? Same here. Whenever you have scratches, try and get it to pick up with the decal it's on, if you can. If you technically can't, fair enough. But yeah, it'd be nice to see these scratches. Like this text is kind of perfect, right? It would be nice to see some of the text scratched off, so it's not just stamped on. Maybe potentially skewed. This looks like it might be skewed. It's kind of waving in this direction. So to reduce skewing, you can paint it out in marmoset, or you can just add if this in the low poly, you can just add a face. It's up to you really. Like marmoset is super powerful nowadays, but if you don't have access to marmoset, you can just add a face into the low poly, and then because of that, the normals are going to point perpendicular to the face, and your bolts will go flat. So you're making me go into really detail because you've done such a good job on the major read. But when I zoom in, and I'm not a weapon artist, so a weapon artist is going to be really able to see this stuff even more. I start to see a little bit of where it breaks. So like, you know, the textural density, like it's very blurry here. And it looks very substancy here. Like this is perfect in terms of how it's been damaged, but you know, what's causing that? And why is it on the horizontal edges as well? Yeah, your textural density looks way blurrier here, whereas here it looks a bit sharper. So just make sure that your UVs are the same size, because in first person, it's under a lot of scrutiny where it's going to be. I'm not sure about your texture map sizes in general as well, just because it gets a little bit ropey here. So I'm not sure if the high poly had enough soft edges in or soft bevels. I'm seeing some slight errors here. Again, I like the medium detail you're doing. This is good. Medium, 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 and then small, medium, cool. Yeah, these things are a bit ropey. These little the rail. I don't know if it's called the rail. So your bake here looks much better. Like you see the bevel coming in from the high poly, right? But then that is not reflected like here or even on these edges here. So it's almost as though you did put most of the effort into like the scope, and then when it got to the rail, you were kind of like chilling a little bit. That's what it feels like. Some of the stuff doesn't match up. It's cool though. Like you're getting there. You are getting there. These are cool shots. These macro shots. These are cool. Let's paste that in. Cool. Yeah, this shot's pretty solid. You got some perfect edges here. It might be worth, you know, to take yourself to the next level. Start denting and damaging and adding some subtle warble to make this less perfect, which does require you to either do it in substance or ZBrush, which can be painful if you're a weapon artist. So there's also something going on here. Like on this one, it looks like the bake has gone around the corner, but on here it looks, there's like I can see a hard edge. So when you provide these close-up shots, you got to make sure the embed's good. Now, you've done a really good job on this cog looking thing. That's cool. Yeah, check your TD. It looks like you've got more resolution here than here. So keep that in mind as well. Oh, that's a cool shot. Kind of feel like I don't see more high poly shots or like a dramatic angle. Like this is like a establishing shot showing it from the side, but it would have been nice to see maybe one shot like this or like this showing the high poly. This is cool. Yeah. This one's a bit easier to see, to be honest. Yeah, it's very perfect, which is fine for sci-fi, but, you know, at some point it'd be good to experience like denting some of these edges to make it look less perfect. Yeah, I've got a feeling that you baked these bolts flat, and if you didn't, there's something going on with how they read. So I'd be tempted to put some more polygons in that area, even if it's just putting the polygons to sell the inner shape and not the circle. But yeah, this is you've come such a long way from when I last taught you. So it's a good, you're progressing, which is perfect. So keep doing what you're doing. Wireframe, bit difficult to see. Be good to color the wireframe. Ah, okay, cool. Yes. That's the issue. Okay. Because you've baked the bolts down flat, I do feel as though you're being very conservative. Like you've got lots of polygons on this cog thingy, turny majig. But you don't, like, for example, have that much topology selling the shape on where you're going to see more of a glancing angle, right? So it all depends on context, really, if you're ever going to see it in first person or not. But I've seen people model bolts in a lot of guns, or just model the middle area in. So I think, you know, outside of the scope of what War Dog, the art test for War Dog is, throw some polys in there. If you ever do another gun. I said I want to conflict with what War Dog's told you. But yeah, this looks a bit last gen with this just being baked in. And it looks weird as well. It doesn't look like it's... I could see it in the first gun. It looked... I suspected that it was flat because it didn't... It's too big in terms of like... These small ones, cool. But when you've got a big shape like this, just put some juice in it, you know? Throw a bit of polygons at it. You know, don't be afraid to throw a bit more into it. Like, you're certainly doing it on these round bits, so, you know, do it on here. Yeah, these bits, these rail bits need revisiting, I'd say. They look very blurry. Not sure what's happened with it. Cool. UVs are cool, but they look... This is like the max UV, right? It looks a bit... I think there are better ways to show you UV on wraps. Firstly, I'll put these maybe side by side so you don't have to scroll down. And maybe like get rid of the green, or see if you can find a way to show this a little bit better. Maybe with the textures on. Also, your padding is almost like non-existent as well. Like, you almost have no padding between your UV shells, which is probably why you're getting weird baking artifacts on some corners. Yeah, you don't have enough edge padding, so you want at least 16 pixels edge padding. You don't want your UVs to be so close together, otherwise you're going to get those errors. So more edge padding on the UVs, more work on getting the bake to look really good, more work on the UVs being the same scale, present some more high poly angles if you can. But this piece on an initial glance is really solid. When you look into it a bit more, it does show a few of the errors that you're still exploring on, but those errors won't take long to fix, man. Like, you're already modeling complex shapes. You make a few more of these guns and you address those issues, you're going to be good to go. So, good progression, man. Keep it up, all right? Hope that helps, all right? Number 16, which areas are lacking in terms of detail, quality, and other things come to mind? So it looks like we've got a Dust 2 remake, fully playable, Unreal Engine 4.26. So 2 months, polishing, That's cool. The fact that you target this is funny. You target it for like an old system, GTX 1080. That's what I use on this computer, bro. I cannot afford a new computer yet, which is why I have mentorships, by the way. Gumroad mentorships, you know, £65 plus VAT. Get some cool mentorships with me, by the way. Yeah, it's good that you're aiming for that. So let's see. So you're mixing like mega scans with your own stuff. That's fine. Every environment arch does that, and you've remade a map. Okay, so let's look at the shots. So this is a remake of a map that was in Counter-Strike. Okay, cool. One thing I'd say about when you remake stuff that's already been remade, I believe Counter-Strike, this map, Dust 2 has been remade a few times, even by Valve, right? So you're always going to get compared to those, so be careful on when you remake stuff. So I'm going to say, you can probably guess what I'm going to say right away, because I speak about it a lot. I think that you have overscoped. Too many images, the project's too big, and because it's too big, my initial glance is telling me that you have shots with a lot of stuff in, but there isn't a shot that really looks super, super high quality. Like, they look okay, because you've stretched yourself so thin, just like we had with one of the previous portfolios from a few days ago. When you do big environments, it takes so much work to dress them. And because of that, it's like this way, you put the same plant 3 times, whereas if you just focused on this shot for a few weeks, imagine the blending and the detail and the foliage you could add around the edges. Because you've got to do the rest of the whole map, you're stretching yourself thin. So my feedback right away is, one, you got too many images, right? So let's do the 10-second test. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm done. I'm going to the next piece. That was 10. How much more have you got? Too many pieces of work. Where if you've got you're doing it for like a commercial title and it's super experienced and you're all that sort of stuff, sure. Even then, I would hazard on doing that, because the attention span of your recruiter or lead artist is going to go in about 10 to 15 seconds, because you are going to be one of 500 applying for a job in today's market. So the feedback I have is that find 4 shots out of this whole project, 4 to 6 shots that you really like, and don't show the other shots, and make those 4 to 6 shots look as good as they can be. Additional set dressing, polish, feedback, vertex painting, blending, more asset placement, and then post some breakdowns of what is Megascans, what isn't Megascans, what is yours, what isn't yours, and vice versa. Because you don't have enough construction shots either. There are no wireframes, material flats, breakdowns of what is yours and what is Megascans. It's just a lot of images of, you know, like almost like a level design project, right? So that would probably be my main feedback. I mean, you have a breakdown here, but it would be good to show the breakdown in the same piece. Is what I would say. Yeah, put it in one piece and then reduce the amount of work you have for it. But on art side, it's like, yeah, you want to break up this wall a bit. It's broken up, but you want to have like some sort of set dressing on the edges, because you haven't got any skirting here, so the floor goes right into the wall and it causes this geometry seam here where my mouse is tracing down. You've got some good set dressing here that helps break it up, but you need more on some of these edges as well. yeah, same thing here. You'd want to check your texture density. Like the road looks a bit lower resolution than the wood, which can happen if you use a lot of Megascans materials or you don't check your UVs. So just be careful of the resolution, because in some places it gets a bit blurry, in some places it gets nice and sharp. And just stuff like this, right? This wood pillar meets the floor and it's very harsh, whereas you'd want some sort of like some weeds or some set dressing, or some damaged tile, some sort of dirt buildup on here, something to sort of ease the transition. When two meshes meet each other, there needs to be some sort of blend going on with the transition. And stuff like this, right? You got the bricks on the edge here, which is a cool detail. They're thin, whereas the bricks here are super thick, so they don't look like they would line up. You've got some harsh corners here, so putting some polygons into your corners, pulling and pushing bricks. Delete any shots that look too similar, like these two shots here look like the shots further up, so I delete those as well. And yeah, just more set dressing and whatnot. You're clearly putting in the effort and the time to do stuff, but you are overscoping, which is affecting your quality. So my main feedback for you would be scope down, pick some camera angles, make them look as good as possible. You keep doing that, your work will get done faster, meaning you'll be able to iterate more and quicker and move on to the next project. So and post the construction shots in the same piece. And not sure if that box is meant to be floating like that. Looks a bit weird, but be wary of that. And address where geometry meets each other to reduce this low poly looking effect. But all of this stems from the fact that you've tried to do too much work, which is a common issue. So don't worry about it, because it's one that you can fix by just doing smaller pieces. So take a few shots. It depends. If you're done working on this, take this feedback for the next piece. Pick a few shots, make them look as good as possible. Because if you took this shot and dressed this and adjusted the textures, this could look amazing. And you could just have this shot on its own and you'd be good. But because you have all these other shots, I see how much you're struggling to fill in everywhere with the same quality. And that is just an issue of overscope. So yeah, my feedback is more of the approach of your environment to let you get the best quality you can without spreading yourself too thin. Hopefully that helps, chat. But again, you're on the right track. So reduce the overscope. But cool. That's so that is, we've got 2 left, and we'll do those in the next video. Which is, again, folks, hope this helps, and see you soon.